On this episode of Milestones, we have a very special guest, which I feel like we haven't given the honor of introducing himself on the podcast because he has already been featured on a few episodes. So today we'll officially have him here today. Let's welcome Tommy.
Yo, what's up, guys? My name is Tommy. I'm the founder of NBCB,
NBCB, if you haven't heard it, it is that burger joint at...
Orchard Central.
Of course, I know. I just want to make sure he know.
I think I know. Yeah.
So NBCB stands for nothing but cheeseburger, right?
Yes.
All right. So we're gonna zoom out from that. So you are your own boss.
Yeah, I guess I'm my own boss.
So how did NBCB actually start? Can you give us some insight on that?
I think like most businesses, it started off because there is a interest or there is a need. So mine was because during COVID, my wife was pregnant and she couldn't get vaccinated, right? So she had burger craving. So I had to keep, going to airport and buy takeaway for her.
Why airport? What's at the airport?
Shake Shack, right?
Yeah.
So not even McDonald's.
No. Like McDonald's.
No lah, she had like this craving for Shake Shack lah. Then no choice. I have to keep buying. Then at some point, as much as you love your wife, it can piss you off lah. Right?
Yeah, okay. Okay.
So I decided like one burger, how hard to do, right? Okay lah, I go and try. So after that, because she didn't like the first iteration of it, right? So somehow it sparked me to try and do something that she would like. Then that's how it happened lah. Then became a friends and family thing. Then someone asked me to try and sell it. Then from selling it to now what it is lah.
So there was a sheer will and determination to make a good burger for your wife, but it gradually evolved to make a good burger for the public.
I don't know whether for the public is it good or not lah. Like for myself, I'm happy when my wife approve of it. Anything else is a bonus.
Yeah. Awesome.
Unfortunately, I have yet to try your burger.
Not halal, bro.
Yeah, for religious purposes. But yes, hopefully one day I get to try.
Yeah. Hopefully one day I get to make a halal version also.
Hopefully. There's a saying for that. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
All right. So now that you have become your own boss and you've created this business, what is actually your working experience?
My background?
Yeah.
After graduating from university, I worked in a bank for not a bank. I worked in banking industry for I think almost 8 years.
Banking industry.
I was a sales representative lah. They call a relationship manager lah, but it's like a glorified salesman.
What?
Yeah.
Is it mean to say that I didn't expect that?
Most people wouldn't expect that due to how I look like now, but back then I was very prim and proper. Yeah.
For 8 years.
For 8 years though.
Yeah.
Bro, so this thing only happened. So the NBCB idea happened only during the COVID period, right?
Yeah, it was only probably 2012 near the end, the second half of 2012 before when it started. But before that, I was already doing insurance. So I moved up from banking to, we call it a financial advisor model. So during then was COVID, right?
Right.
So I didn't have no customer to meet. You can't meet anybody. You can't go to anybody's house. So most of the time, we were just like at home doing nothing. Yeah.
So your first customer is basically your wife,
Yeah.
So it started out like a passion project kind of thing.
It's not even a passion project. It came out because honestly, like I said, I was quite pissed off already lah. I mean, yeah, she's pregnant and all, but if you have to go and tapao at like 2 a.m, wake up and buy food, you'll be a bit pissed off lah.
But that must be a big change. Like from 8 years of working, technically you have a boss, right?
Yes.
For 8 years you have a boss, and now you have your own business. So now you're your own boss. So can you tell us like what are the difficulties and the changes you feel?
I think as an employee, you have to fit yourself around the company's requirement. But as a boss, you have to be responsible for what the company culture is. So one is fitting in, one is creating. So yeah, I feel that it's a very big 180 switch. But of course, I know what I like and what I dislike. I have my own principle. So when you create a company, it's following what your principle is. That's how you endure day to day. Right? Is it 100% correct? Maybe, maybe not. Is it for everyone? Maybe not. But at least you have something that, to direct how you want the company to be run.
Right. So, but when you start the business, right, before it became like a big business, right, did you actually need like a huge capital, or do you need any like external funds to even start a business?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I feel like a lot of people like they want to start a business. I think a lot. The main thing that's putting them off is the capital, because it is a big sum that you have to put if you want to start your own business, right?
Definitely. But for me, it's that when it started off, it was a home-based business. So the transition from home-based business to a full-scale restaurant was less risky because I knew that there were people that,
You already have a clientele, right?
yeah, it might not support a full-scale restaurant, but at least I know that there are people eating and they are okay with the food. In terms of capital-wise, yes, in Singapore, unfortunately, most businesses require some sort of capital inflow. And for me, I'm lucky because my friends around me, some of them are a bit older, so they have done their own businesses. So they were willing to support in terms of investing into the business. Yeah.
And I'd say the investments are good.
They have not yet 100% recouped their capital lah. But for me, is that the networking part where I have made over the X number of years did help when I needed it lah. Yeah.
So as of today, how old is NBCB?
NBCB just crossed its 1 year mark.
Oh,
What?
congratulations!
As a restaurant lah. But if you are talking about from start of the home-based business, it's about 1 year, 9 months ish. Yeah.
That's still very short.
Yeah.
It's very fast.
Fast lah, but there's a lot of work done behind the scene that
Of course,
people might not understand.
Of course, and I'm sure you didn't do it yourself, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, which brings me I want to ask is like, how many people like do you think that you need to start a business?
Honestly, there is no real numbers, but definitely more than one is the best.
More than one is
Yeah.
the best. Of course, like, you can't be doing everything, right?
I think it's a matter of balancing having too many cook to make a soup and having enough cook to make a good soup. So it's about choosing right people, and I have that opportunity to, because my wife works in the hospitality industry, so she knows a few good chef, a few good maybe restaurant manager that I have the honor to actually bring on board to help me with the business. Yeah.
So she's your like talent scout, right?
I would say that yes, but also sometimes you need the right people at the right time. Like in Mandarin, right, they say 天时地利人和, which means
So
the English, it means that everything has to fall into place at the right time, at the right moment. Then usually it'll be much smoother. But I had that luck lah, that good fortune.
Everything came together.
Yeah,
basically.
because it's like if I didn't have the connection made, and if my relationship with my investors were not as tight as what it was, maybe they were not willing to fund. And maybe if it wasn't COVID, I wouldn't have cooked. Maybe if my wife wasn't pregnant, I wouldn't even have the need to go and tapao or go and
Right. So it all leads to this moment.
So everything leads, the path leads to what it is today. Like how long can it go? Then I wouldn't know. But till today, everything is really, most of it is like it fall into place. I would say, yeah.
Right. That's very interesting because like I really don't know, because it started out as like I feel like, are you actually a chef? You're not a chef, right?
I'm not culinary trained at all.
You don't have a culinary trained.
No.
So it's all YouTube. Maybe you learn how to make burgers from YouTube. Is that right?
Yes. So like when people ask me, I would say that almost all the YouTube videos that has to do with burgers, I probably watch it all.
Really?
Everything
Can be found on the internet.
Almost every, especially the good ones lah, especially from renowned chefs, how they create their burgers. During that point of time, I was watching almost everything, and I probably repeated a few that were interesting.
A
Your
good,
chef
bur-
Bob?
a good burger is how to be.
I would say like maybe Western chef lah, like maybe Bobby Flay, maybe like even Gordon Ramsay,
Ooh.
even Goga. I don't know whether you know or not, but there are a few like internet chefs, internet home cooks that I watch their video and see how can I incorporate their technique or their recipe into what my wife like. In fact,
So the target audience was at first the wife.
it was never to start a business. It was just purely out of I want her to accept that I can make something that she can accept. You understand? Yeah.
And you went the full route of, okay, I make a restaurant now. Can you accept it? I can make something.
In fact, most of the thing is she would have to give her blessings, right? Because at the start it was like, okay, so she accepted the final iteration of it. Then what happened next, right? So she was the one that said, hey, maybe you should let your friends and family try. So after my friends and family try, then people will start to tell me that, hey, maybe you can try selling it. I say, sell? How to sell? Because before then, I wasn't a social media person. So like, I seldom log into Instagram. I don't even know how to like start this whole thing. So same thing, I had to Google how home-based business start, how online business start. Then learn here and there from those existing home-based businesses. So everything just is a step-by-step process. But you say like, wow, from the get-go, I wanted to cook burger and make a restaurant. No, it was never the intention. Yeah.
So okay, so what were the struggles to get where you are right now?
I think the biggest struggle is always self-belief.
So it's internal.
I think a lot of things is, okay, external factor will affect your internal thoughts. And to be mentally strong is not as easy as it seems to be. Because there's always a lot of negative, I guess, criticism or what coming out.
Like, why you start this? Like why you start restaurant?
Yeah, I mean from every stage it's like from the home base, people say you crazy why you sell burgers. So many things for you to sell from home, right? You choose burger, right? So when the brand started to have a little bit of namesake, then people will say, hey, why you choose vulgarity as a name? Because for those that know lah, right?
Yeah. We're not gonna explain what it means.
I mean, you can go and Google it yourself lah, right? But the fact is, why you choose this name? But in my mind, I had a plan, right? So when I decided to do a home-based business, I knew that for a fact that a name has to stand out.
Yeah.
Correct.
Because you are a nobody, you want eyeball on you. You need something that people will, this is interesting. Maybe they don't feel that the product is good, but at least the name they remember.
Yeah.
So for me, I had a plan. But of course, there will be a lot of people saying, hey, you sure not? Singapore not ready for this. Singapore not ready for that. So even until the stage whereby I was thinking of opening a restaurant, people say, hey, you at home-based cooking is fine. Open restaurant is a different thing, right? So at every single stage is like, there will be people challenging you. I'm not saying that they might be wrong, they might be right, who knows, right? But at the end of the day, there will always be this challenge, and then it's up to you internally to
believe them
to struggle with it and finally make a decision whether you want or you don't want. Yeah.
I like that. It's a very good mental mindset overcome story.
Basically, if you want to start a business, it's also a mental war.
It is a mental war every day. Like even after you open a restaurant, right? At the start, I have no experience in running a restaurant, right? So every day, especially when you do something new, right? The positive feedback, right, will always be enveloped by the negative. You will always think about the negative.
Yeah.
The good people say like, oh, you good. You're like, oh, thanks. But when the person say you are bad, you can't sleep. You will keep thinking over it.
Yeah.
So it's about balancing yourself out also. Yeah. So during the first 3 months, like honestly, it was a very big struggle. Like nobody knows because obviously things are not perfect. Starting a business, you have to handle all aspects, right? You have to handle the branding, you have to handle the customer service, you have to handle the food quality, and with a brand new team who might not fully understand what you're trying to do, there's bound to be a mistake. Right. And as the owner, as the face of the brand, you no choice. You have to face all these negative feedbacks lah. And mentally, it did affect me a lot. But slowly, of course, with friends, mentors, they tell me, it's part and parcel of what it is. Then, as of today, even the effect is still there. But I would say that I handle it much healthily than before. Yeah.
So how many times from the start until now have you thought about like, what, this is not worth it, I'm not gonna do it anymore?
I'm not someone who thinks that way. Right. If let's say someone say that, okay, your patty sucks, I won't say that people don't like, just give up.
Okay.
I want to understand why it sucks to you. Right. But I also come to realize after 6-9 months of operating that no product in this world is suitable for everybody. Right. And there are a lot of people that actually likes your product, but they just support by being there, purchasing, but they won't say a single word. Only people that they really don't like, they feel that they need to voice out their displeasure or things like that. Yeah. So you need to focus on things that matter, then shifting focus to things that might not matter. Like in some interviews, I do say that with negative criticism, you have to see what is constructive and what is not. So it matters also, in my opinion.
Right. Okay. So how many? What's your strengths now
In what the
under your company?
about 25 staff. Yeah.
25 stuff.
Must be
full
hard to
admin.
manage all them, right?
I'm lucky in the sense where I have a manager that is good at managing that. He has experience managing like 20, 30, 50 staff. So since he has the experience, then I have to trust that he knows how to run the team. So right now I'm more focused on the marketing and the brand building and the business development side of things. Yeah.
So basically, it's self-sustaining already now.
I wouldn't say 100% because everyone has their own strength, right? So everyone has a role to play. I won't say that it's self-sustaining. I would say that I still need to check back in, on a maybe weekly
To show a
basis.
presence, you got to show a presence, right?
I mean, showing presence is one thing, but showing that you still care. Then even my staff, of course, my first batch of staff when it was just a small shop, standalone, I only had 5 or 6 staff. It's easier to communicate, but as the team grow, it's hard to communicate with everyone. But you just have to show that you are open for communication.
All right. So since this is still new, right? Relatively new, right? So do you have any future plans for
Expansion,
expansion? Yeah.
I think for every business, nobody want to stay stagnant, right? But expansion comes with its own challenges. Like for F&B, is always trying to maintain your consistency, your brand consistency, your food consistency, your customer service consistency across all brands, right? And there's no one brand that has it perfect. Right? For me, it's not rushing into opening franchises, opening big chain. Even if for the next 10 years, I only got 3 shops. But my duty is to ensure that all 3 shops
Are
is the
perfect.
same.
Yeah.
So I rather have that than 20 shops, but 18 of them are not running properly.
Quality over quantity.
Yeah, I think quality over quantity will last through as a legacy compared to just having quantity, but different set of qualities across different entities. Yeah.
So, but do you plan to expand further from the F&B business?
Personally, I think I already expanded accidentally. I don't know what happened.
You know what your story sounds like? Have you heard of the movie Founders?
Yeah.
It sounds like
there
that.
was a McDonald's
Yeah,
movie.
like you know how they had the whole restaurant, then because it went to the quantity route,
Yeah.
a lot of things change, and you don't want that.
But I take inspiration from different F&B business here and there. Like for me, I look at maybe the Shake Shacks, the Five Guys. I look at McDonald's. I look at even our locally boutique burger chains. I see what I think I can incorporate. I see what I don't want to have it within the brand. Then I try to deal with it. I try to incorporate it accordingly lah. So for example, if you look at Shake Shack, Five Guys, their menu is very simple. That means it's just words.
Yeah.
And I felt that it was easier on the eye for consumer.
Instead of just all pictures, right?
Yeah, because there is always this for food like there's always this nagging intuition, right? That you need to show them that your food it looks like this. If it doesn't show, if you don't show, first time customer might not know what to expect.
Yeah.
Correct.
But honestly, I hate it. I hate seeing pictures of the food.
Yeah, then like you go to the zi cha store, right? They always put the picture, right?
Someone is like the picture that's like in random order, then got the name like, oh, I have to find 11. Where's 11? Where's the 11 one?
Yeah, I felt that to streamline and make things easy for the eye, it makes customer the ordering process easier. Of course, there are people that are more visual; they want to see. But generally, I can put that picture elsewhere instead of the menu. Yeah, so like the pictures will usually be on the TV. The picture will maybe be on the wall, but I keep the menu as clean as possible. Yeah. So there are certain things that I learn. Yeah, like maybe towards a preference, what type of burger I like in terms of how we sell the final product. It is more to what I enjoy eating, and then I sell it with the hope that there are
You
enough
enjoy it too.
there are enough people that enjoy the same thing as me, right? Then I cannot neglect the others that might want more, which is why I have the top up option, which in a way it is inspired from say Five Guys. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I love the thing about Five Guys. I always like get a burger and top up at 5 extra bacon.
Yeah, you can top up bacon. I mean their lettuce, their onion is free, right?
Oh.
Yeah. But of course it comes at a cost from the base lah. Like
The
for
base
me,
is,
I try to make the base a bit lower, but the top up would cost money. So I try to balance things out a little bit. Yeah.
Okay, wait. You can top up bacon in your shop.
yeah.
Okay, coming there later.
What? Okay. So now I ask you. So how much money do you even actually need to start like a business?
So the thing is, everyone sees a business, regardless big or small, as the same type of business, right? So let's say for a restaurant, right, or F&B business, if you are opening like an omakase restaurant versus say you are opening Hai Di Lao versus say you are opening a hawker versus say you are in a food court, it's entirely different.
Subjective, very
It's,
subjective.
it's very subjective. So a lot of people feel that okay, I want to open a restaurant, is 50k enough. But if you use 50k to open at, I don't know, Tuas South, maybe it's enough. But to open in town, maybe it's not enough, right? So it's a matter of you have the back-end technical details of where you want, what you need. Then you try to put the numbers in place. Then you try to work out whether you can do it alone or do you need people to partner up with you. So it's not a matter of the dollar value, but what you actually want. A lot of people think that it's just a open number, right? Same thing as you do media, right? There are those people that shoot with iPhone 8. Some people insist on having like a $12,000 camera.
Yeah, but correct me wrong, because I'm on TikTok. I always see this. There's this guy. Last time I forgot what his name is. He sells bubble tea or what. And he always breaks down like how much his business costs and all that.
The Yongwei.
Yes, yes, that guy. I think
It's
one
ice
of
cream.
ice cream.
Yeah.
I think one of his videos say like you need to, when you start a business, you need to at least plan ahead. Like, at least have enough money to start it and also enough money to sustain it for a few months in case it doesn't blow up straight away.
Yes and no, but it's always good to have money in the bank. But nobody start a business, then for 3 months nobody come. There's always some cash flow, right?
Correct,
But you're probably making a loss for the first few months. So you just need to make sure that you have enough
To sustain
the loss.
Don't just go all in and then first month no money. I guess we're closing down.
But then again, it's part of planning, right? It's like even for yourself, when you take your salary, you don't spend everything.
Correct. So basically, you gave yourself like a timeline for okay, during this period, I expect a loss. So by this end of this timeline, I should recoup like how much I've already put in.
Yeah, but for myself, the return on capital, it's a very technical thing because there are people that are investors, there are people that don't mind waiting for the long game. So for me, I'm lucky in a sense that the investors are my friends. Most importantly is I can build a legacy business instead of fast cash, get the money back in. Then after the first year, how long it can last, then is profit.
I get it.
Yeah, but there are a lot of investors that are like this. So it also depends on who you are working with, right? So like I say, it's a very open-ended thing. It's a matter of what you want, what is your principle. Then you of course there will be difficulty in matching mentality, but you have to go and grind it out, especially if you need help from outside.
So all these investors. So knowing what you know now, would you do this again?
In all honesty, I might not.
What? Why? I thought you gain experience already.
Yeah, but there are a lot of sacrifices that people don't see, you see. Like time outside from my family. At least when you're, let's say for me, when I was working in a bank, if let's say I were to continue all the way until now, and because it's a sales role, right?
8 to 5,
It will get easier, lah. I will say it will get easier as you manage your clients, you build the relationship. It's not as tedious as I started, right? But the problem is that during that point of time, I left the banking role because I wanted to get married. So I want to have some time, at least some family. Because during that time, I really worked like 12, 15 hours a day.
Yikes.
Yeah, so it wasn't a future that I want to happen. But knowing what I know now, I know how much money would suffice for me. Right? And I feel that I could make that sort of money as an employee. Then why come out and be an employer, right? And then face so much things that I could have been sheltered from. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I get what you mean.
Yeah. So it's like, it's not. A lot of people aspire to do business, right? It's called something called your own, right?
Correct.
But your own means you have to do everything yourself, lor.
To start somewhere.
Yeah,
right?
then I sacrifice time with my 2 kids. I sacrifice time with my family. I sacrifice time with a lot of other things, my friends and whoever, to do this thing, right? Like even now, doing this podcast, in a way, it will still build my brand, right? Because there is going to be some mention, right?
Correct.
And to me, it's still work. Right? I might not be paid like directly in terms of dollar value for the time I spend, but it's still work done, you see.
So you're saying it might get to a point like if you start your own business, everything seems like work.
everything will start to seem like work lah. Like for example, you see when you are working for an employer, right? Whether or not you go for that event, you still get paid at the end of the month.
True.
Right? But if today you are an employer, you are a new business owner, and there are events, networking session, do you want to go or not? It might be lost opportunity.
You have to lah.
You know,
You
then
have
you
to.
have to struggle between going at events at like 9 p.m. or go home spend time with your family.
I think this is what a lot of people don't get about starting a business. It's not just like, okay, I open shop, I sell stuff. It's not about that. There's a lot of back end stuff, and you have to meet people and all that. Right?
I think that is not wrong, because a lot of people, when you see businesses, right, you are looking at matured business, right? You're looking at the owner of matured business.
Yeah.
But a lot of the small new businesses that are coming up, they are drowned by the sea.
Like
of,
all the people that already made it, like
Yeah, you-
McDonald's, all that, right?
yeah, like Jian Hao, relax.
Don't name drop that here.
I can name drop. Right, Jian Hao, relax. He looks busy, but actually he's quite relaxed.
Pretty sure the guy is super busy. Yeah. Okay, but is actually NBCB your first business?
No, it's not my first business. It's my, I would say, third or fourth business.
Were they all F&B related?
No. This is my first F&B venture. I had a sort of like a printing business that is still sort of running.
Oh wow!
Yeah, but I mean, it's really like an agent business lah. Like,
Gundam
you know,
Mufflet.
No. So I tried to, okay, like I tried to sell durian before.
Oh wow! Okay.
Yeah, I tried a cleaning business. Yeah,
Cleaning as in
Open up laundromat, is it?
no.
commercial cleaning.
Sort of gearing towards commercial cleaning, but a lot of the businesses I went in not knowing anything. Same as this F&B thing, I went in not knowing anything. I thought like very easy, man. You know, just set up proposal and write to people, and some condo MCST will pick you up that kind. I didn't realize that they actually need like your portfolio. Then you don't have portfolio, how you going to find people? You know, so I ended up hiring freelancer to clean people's house.
Oh.
Yeah, which in turn, you know, when you deal with individuals, right, then there will be individual problem. So you end up maybe refunding, paying. The whole thing wasn't worth it.
Right.
Like someone maybe clean the house, break the thing, then oh crap, I have to pay for it. Is that-
Yeah, and then you know, like especially for this kind of industry, it's quite niche, right? And then big players will try to drown you out.
Correct.
Yeah, I mean, if they play price war with you, you cannot beat them. You don't have enough capital to sustain the price war. You know, so that's how a lot of businesses get priced out. Yeah. So I learned some things here and there lah. Is it applicable 100% wholesale? Probably not. But there are definitely certain principles that can be translated towards, you know, any business view. Yeah.
Okay. So, how do you even prevent a business from failing?
There's no prevention. I would say that most businesses that survive are businesses of necessity.
So like food.
I would say food, like infrastructure, maybe, you know, electricity, water, car, you know.
Which already have big players already, right?
Yeah, like for even F&B, right, I'm entering a market that is super mature, super competitive, low margin.
Saturated also.
It's super saturated. Like if you ask me now, like will I even bother to take the risk? That's why I'm saying, like, you know,
Right.
I might not lah, because for all the things that I've done, I also know at the back of my head what are the sacrifices, right?
Correct.
You know, so could I have earned, let's say, this whatever amount of money I earn from this business, right, somewhere else? I probably could do it with employment, and a lot of things that when people ask me online, especially, they ask me whether should you do a business. I would say you go and do it. There's nothing wrong with going to do a business, right? You at least experience different things and stuff like that. But is it easy to do a business? Is there no sacrifice in business? There are sacrifices that not just financially, not just mentally. There's a lot of other sacrifices that people might not see on a day-to-day basis. Yeah.
But with all being said, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any regrets of starting it?
I have no regret because of how it transpired. But if today it failed, definitely there will be a tinge of regret lah. You know what I mean? Or, like,
Of course.
you know,
Every aspect of life there is.
Every aspect,
yeah,
yeah,
like
of course.
if it's going well, like if you buy the lottery and it didn't hit, you will regret spending the money. But if you hit it, right, then you won't regret spending
Correct.
the money. It's the same logic lah. But for the experience that I have, like because of the shop, I had to do TikTok because I didn't have money to market. I need to be wise with my money, so I have to come out and show my face. Then it become like I'm sitting here right now with you guys. You know what I mean? So it's the journey lah. Do I enjoy the journey? There are times where I don't enjoy it, but most of the time it has been positive. I'm quite lucky that I meet a lot of people that has been very supportive, right? I meet customers that are very supportive, right? Then all in all, it's not a bad thing, but in terms of the sacrifices, I don't know as of now, is it worth it or not worth it? Yeah.
I mean, it's a new business. It's a new business technically, right? So
Yeah,
maybe in the long run, it will be worth it.
Let's hope lah. Then again, it becomes whether it's still like for me. I always feel this way. When you do a business, it's like having a job, right? The only way you can stay in a job is you have to be relevant throughout that entire period of time, right? But in employment, the need to stay relevant is lesser because you don't feel that getting fired moment until you are really getting fired, right? And then you still get your income regardless. You do more or do less. But for business, the transition from a profit-making business to a loss-making business is just like that.
It can happen anytime.
It can happen anytime, right? And then who's to say that you will forever be in trend? Who's to say you forever be something that people accept? Yeah. So it's like how the car market is getting taken over or challenged by EVs, right?
Yes,
And
yes.
those that are going to survive are probably the one that transits fast. Those that are not going to survive is probably the one that stays to whatever traditional model. Yeah, and especially in today's day and age, change happen very fast
That's right.
compared to 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's why halal.
So basically you will struggle when you start a business.
The struggle is like every day is just different things.
It's different,
It could be manpower, it could be customer, dealing with suppliers.
New problem every day
then
that you have to solve.
Yeah, dealing with social media, I would love to have someone handle the social media, but I don't have the budget to handle. So that's why I'm doing it.
I mean, you're doing it quite well.
Yeah, but there are bound to be backlash regardless what you do. You know what I mean?
That is true.
So then can you handle the backlash? Because sometimes I don't see it. But I don't see it because I'm there.
So basically, like when you start the business, there will be struggles.
For sure. Yeah. And the struggle is not kept to a boundary. The struggle is a spectrum of struggles.
So every day is like a new problem that you have to solve.
It's like you are fighting a war every day and you will never feel at ease. I don't know whether people can understand, but you will never feel at ease. You always feel that something is going to go wrong.
There's something has to go wrong, right?
Something is going to go
So
wrong.
basically, Murphy's Law, Murphy's Law?
And then the thing about business, and I think a lot of business owner, whether big, small, home-based business, right, you all will understand this point that when it's too smooth, right, you will feel something is wrong.
Right.
Like
When you're too comfortable, this is not good. Why am I so comfortable?
Yeah, I give you an example. It's like, there was this period of time near the end of last year, right, where, there's no complaint. That's like, why is there no complaint?
Just a day or like within a
it's
period
like,
of time?
it's like, let's say 3 weeks, 4 weeks. There was no complaint, no, like nothing, like, everything was positive. I was thinking like, something is bound to gonna happen, right? Right? Because every day, maybe every few days I'll receive some sort of complaint, like, maybe my cashier was not smiling. I don't even have that complaint, I'm thinking like, what is happening?
Okay.
You cannot sit still.
Like the calm before the storm, right?
Yeah, so I'm sure a lot of business owners, big or small, will understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
But in the end, did anything happen after that?
Nothing lah, but of course, it's like you cannot have like a winning streak.
So-
forever,
so-
right?
so-
Something about to happen lah.
So one of the few times when you say like, you can have a lot of positive comments, but then one negative comment can ruin your day. But after that 3 weeks period, a negative comment come, oh, thank God.
Yeah, it's like suddenly like a 1-star Google review come, right? And I'm like, normal.
Okay, life is normal.
Life is good.
Yeah, it's like, you play game, right? The longer your streak of winning, right? Like if something is wrong, you need to lose one game.
It's,
Like, when
it's
is
coming.
it,
It's coming,
it's like last time, Clash Royale. I play Clash Royale. Right?
Okay.
Like too long a win streak, right? Means something is bound to happen. Right?
I get what you mean.
I rather it happening now so I can reset instead of that fear of when is it going to happen and what it is.
You don't even get to enjoy your good streak.
Yeah, and that sums up what a business is, right? Of course, everyone's end goal is to make money, but then, like I said, the sacrifice mentally, the health issue, a lot of things.
It changes how you look at life, right?
Yeah, and then it's like, I used to sleep very soundly. Like now, I don't sleep soundly at all. Every time my phone rings, it's like, what's happening?
Okay.
So there are a lot of things that, like for example, at the start of the business, right? Like legit, I had to see doctor, right, to get sleeping pills to sleep because I just cannot sleep. Yeah.
All right. So let's end up the video with you giving advice to people who are trying to decide whether or not they should turn their hobbies and passions into businesses. So what would you give?
My advice is you have to definitely try it, because it's better to try and fail than to always question yourself, right? But I think that in the midst of trying, it's the same thing as jumping off a cliff. You have to see how deep is the thing first. You understand? Like, don't jump blindly, right? If let's say you see some steps and you realize that I probably won't break my leg there, I give it a shot, then go for it lah.
You might get mangled, but
Yeah,
at
you
least you
might get a bit of like, scratches here and there, but you will turn out still fine, and the experience will help you in the next venture or what. I would say business is definitely a must try, but you have to understand that it's not going to be like roses, and it's definitely a battlefield. And those saying that business are out there to kill each other, it is true. It is true, right? As much as I want to say that I'm a saint or whatever, no, right? Because when you see somebody do well and you are not doing well, you also start to struggle,
Right.
So I'm not saying that it's definitely a dog eat dog world for sure for all industry, but you have to pace yourself with somebody. And then, like, for me, I do pace myself with my industry, whoever that is there, and then try to find a balance in terms of your mentality lah. I think the balance in mentality being at least healthy, not say very strong, that means iron will, no, but at least you know roughly where you are, you feel the ground, you know where is the door, then you will feel at least better for yourself.
All right. Thank you so much, Tommy, for your time. And once again, guys, if you guys want to find out more about Tommy, links to his socials are below. And of course, support NBCB.
Not say that again. Nothing but cheeseburger. Okay, say that again.
We're just gonna keep that,
Nothing but cheeseburger.
And please make it halal.
Okay, make it halal. I call it PKMK.